Hello, let's talk today about tips for applying to dental school. My name is Richard Bigham, and I'm the Assistant Dean for Student Programs at the University of Missouri, Kansas City School of Dentistry. Those of us in the admissions and student affair areas of dental schools work closely with students as they go through the application process. Through the years, we've experienced a lot and want to share with you today some tips on being a successful dental school applicant. The first tip I want to share with you is to get a plan. Almost every great accomplishment and achievement in life starts with making an intentional plan, and your path to dental school is no different. This is an important step for you, so don't let it only be a wish by failing to prepare and plan. One of my favorite reminders regarding planning is the 5 P's. Proper planning prevents poor performance. So your journey to dental school starts with a plan and then requires you to take action and work hard. You may be asking, when should I make a plan? Especially if you have several years before starting dental school. My response is that it's never too early or too late. No matter if you're a senior in high school, a freshman or sophomore in college, or a junior or senior in college who's getting ready to apply. Wherever you are, get started with your plan and be willing and flexible enough to tweak it as you go to make it stronger. As you develop your plan for dental school, there is quite a bit to include. An important place to begin is with your academics by setting high semester and overall goals for your GPA. If you have a setback during a semester, don't give up. Bounce back and stay motivated to do better in future semesters. You need to also be sure to know the prerequisites required for dental school and to meet with your advisor to lay out a plan of study for those courses. Your academic plan should also include learning about the DAT and determining a specific preparation plan. This should include a 6 to 8 week schedule that details daily plans, subjects to cover, when to take practice exams, and when to take breaks. Beyond academics, you need to have a plan on how you will learn more about dentistry through shadowing and work experiences. Every dental school desires for applicants to have a solid understanding of the profession, and this is accomplished by logging many hours in dental practices. It is also important that you develop your character. This is accomplished by serving in your community, stepping up to leadership opportunities, getting involved in extracurricular activities, working part-time, or doing research. You need to become a well-rounded applicant in all your activities and all your perspectives and in your self-awareness. This may sound like a lot, but it can be accomplished by getting a plan and managing your time well. As you get closer to the application window, be sure you also plan to learn about the dental programs you desire to apply to. Check out their requirements, their values, their key experiences, and if you can, go for a visit to the school. The application process to dental school is likely much different than your undergraduate application process. Therefore, you need to include in your plan the application steps. Things like deadlines, cost, writing a personal statement, asking for letters of recommendation, requesting transcripts, and interviewing should be in your plan. If you plan well, take action, and work hard, then hopefully you'll get the news you planned for, acceptance to dental school. Be sure to mark December 1st on your calendar, as this is one of the best days of the year. It is the agreed upon date that dental schools first begin announcing acceptances. The American Dental Education Association provides you many tools that will assist you in your planning. Actually, they already have a great plan laid out for you in their official guide to dental schools publication. Be sure to check it out as it outlines steps from high school to your senior year of college. It likely seems like a lot, but I promise that by developing a plan first, you will set yourself up for great success. I like what Mel Odom said. It takes real planning to organize this kind of chaos. I agree fully and encourage you to keep calm and plan on.
Hi everybody, I'm Stan Constantino, the Director of Admissions at the University of the Pacific Arthur A. Dugoni School of Dentistry in San Francisco, California. So I'm here to talk about the letters of evaluation, and certainly they are an important component of your application. And like most of dental schools throughout the nation, we here at Pacific Dugoni, we require 3 letters of recommendation 2 letters from science professors, and when I say science professors, they should be in the biomedical sciences. And then the 3rd letter could be from anyone of your choice. It could be a letter from a former supervisor, manager, a dentist you've shadowed, or someone from your church, or even a community clinic or community service event that you've worked at. So when you apply via ADEA, you can submit up to 4 letters of recommendation, and you also have to keep in mind that committee letters are also fine too. But as a fail-safe, I'd recommend looking at all the recommendations and the requirements for all the schools you're interested in, just to ensure that you fulfill the appropriate requirements. So you're probably wondering what makes for a strong letter of evaluation. Well, I strongly recommend that you get letters from people who know you well. And I can't stress this enough, that quality and substance is more important than anything else. So you definitely need to start developing these relationships early and maintaining them. It's important. And it's obvious your letters will be from professors who gave you high grades in classes. So you need to remember that these letters should really highlight and definitely underscore more than you just getting an A in the class. So what should these letters entail? So we want to see your successes, not only as a student, but sort of the qualities that will benefit the schools you're applying to in the profession. We want to know about your teamwork, your maturity, your critical thinking skills, your character, your interpersonal skills, also your communication skills. We also want to know what are some of the things that you can contribute and bring to the dental community. Again, if you have more than 3 or 4 or even 5 letters, 6 letters that you're considering, because you can upload up to 4, I really stress, again, quality over quantity. So the personal statement is also a very important part of your application. It is your only opportunity, well, your initial opportunity to talk to the admissions committee and really sell yourself and market yourself. But you're probably wondering, so what works and what doesn't work? There really isn't a right way or wrong way to write them, but I can tell you what appeals to me. You definitely need to make it a personal story. Use a unique hook. Stay away from the cookie cutter personal statements. And we read this and see this all the time in all these applications. I love my orthodontist. My father's a dentist. I chipped my tooth playing basketball. So I definitely recommend that it has to be unique to your story. Your statement should not be a reiteration or a summary of what you've already listed in your application. You definitely should explain creatively that you just don't want to be a dentist. You also want to describe that dentistry is a profession for you and it's who you are. We want to know who you are, what inspires you, who inspires you, what motivates you, who motivates you. We want to learn about your desire to be challenged. And if school was very easy for you, you really have to humanize yourself and ask yourself how you've challenged yourself beyond school and the classroom. So we love students who share their personal stories and their experiences with us. We want to know and learn about how you've pushed against boundaries and pushed against limitations, how you've taken advantage of opportunities, and also if you've been challenged in life, this is your opportunity to share how you've responded to those challenges. And most importantly, we also want to know and learn how you will thrive in dental school and how you plan to contribute to the community. In closing, you also should remember punctuation and grammar are vital. And if necessary, it's definitely a good resource. Use your career and advisor resources on campuses so that they'll be able to give you their tidbits as well as their advice. Or have a friend read it. It might even be a good idea to get a non-science major read it for their thoughts.
Hello, my name is Melissa Friedman, and I'm the Director of Admissions at the Tufts University School of Dental Medicine. My colleagues have given you great tips on how to best prepare for the ADSAS application in terms of when to apply, how to get letters of evaluation, and how to go about writing a compelling personal statement. What is oftentimes, however, unknown by applicants is the fact that the ADEA application includes questions pertaining to your academic and social disciplinary history. The application also asks questions about whether you have ever faced any legal charges. It is important that you be prepared for these questions and that you read them carefully when completing the application. Think back throughout your college career and answer honestly. Dental schools understand that students may have made bad choices in the past or that they may have found themselves in the wrong place at the wrong time. What is important is that you are honest now and take responsibility for your past actions. Use this application as an opportunity to show that you have learned from your mistakes and that you are more mature now than you were then. Do not try to hide anything, because many schools will require that you obtain documentation from your previous schools. This usually comes after an admissions offer has been made, and if it is determined that a candidate has not been truthful, it may result in an admissions offer being rescinded. Even if you think you were involved in a very minor incident, it is better to be safe than to be sorry. If you can't remember details, or if you are genuinely unsure if you have ever violated a school rule, ask your school. If you need to ask someone whether you need to disclose an incident, that is usually a very good indication that you should. The application is your chance to highlight all of your accomplishments. It is your one chance to talk about how wonderful you are. We encourage you to do so. However, be careful not to exaggerate your hours of shadowing or the community service activities that you've been involved in, or your research experience. Interviewers will ask you to elaborate on your activities in the interview, and it's very easy to determine an applicant who has padded his or her resume. When an applicant cannot give specifics or talk about what an activity means to them, it is an immediate red flag and gives a school an opportunity to question your integrity. Don't allow your academic accomplishments to be overlooked because you exaggerated on your application, or worse, that you outright lied on the ADEA application. As a future dentist, you will find yourself facing ethical dilemmas frequently. It is important that at the application stage, you show that you have the integrity needed in this profession. Therefore, do not forget how important honesty is.
Greetings, I am Dr. Rosa Chaviano-Moran. I am the Assistant Dean for Admissions and Student Recruitment at the Rutgers School of Dental Medicine. I'm here to talk about preparing for the interview. So now you're lucky enough, you got that invitation. Let's talk a little bit how to go about and how to prepare for that coveted interview. Most dental schools will require either a personal interview or another type of format to assess qualities such as self-confidence, interpersonal leadership skills, and things that you bring to the table that really show your motivation for coming to dental school. This is actually your opportunity to impress us and to learn and see and ask questions about what the different dental schools and our programs have to offer. Most interviews are either a full day or either half a day, so you really just have to do your research to make sure to know what's expected of you and how long you're going to be there. And all dental schools really do try to make the interview day worth of your travel, time, and money. We all understand that your time is very challenged because most of you are going to be in school at the time, and if you have to travel by either plane or train, it becomes very expensive. So now that you have been invited, you might either have a few weeks or maybe not so many days to arrange your travel and accommodations. So it is important that you start doing these preparations for the interview even prior to getting that invitation, because like I said before, sometimes you may have a few weeks to make these arrangements, but sometimes we call you that same week or maybe a couple of days before. So things that you really have to take into account are that financial planning for your travel, your housing, while you are going to for the interview, because the most interviews might be out of state, or even if it is within the state, it could be far away from home. And also the wardrobe. It is very important that you pay attention. As you can see, there are two pictures there of what we are deeming a favorable outfit to wear, or what is considered unacceptable attire. So please start saving early. Try to get some ideas how much it's going to cost for your travel, making the overnight arrangements. You might have some friends in that particular state, so maybe that's a way of that, if you contact your friends or relatives ahead of time, you can start making those arrangements accordingly, and also be able to save a little money. One thing that we also want you to make aware of is that you need to arrive with plenty of time. Make sure that, especially most of us interview in the winter, you have to make plans for snow, for rain, plane cancellations. So a lot of issues, traffic. Sometimes if it's even that you're traveling by car, traffic might be an issue. So make sure that you allow for that. Regarding the interview clothing, also prepare that ahead of time. Please don't go ahead and purchase a very expensive outfit if it's not something that it is in your budget. It is okay to borrow a suit, to borrow a dress that's appropriate. So make sure that you pick out your interview clothes at least a few weeks ahead of time, so you're ready for that also. So now you have put all these things into place. You know where you're going to be staying. You're going to, you know how you are going to get there. Make sure, like I said, arriving with plenty of time, the proper attire, etc. Another thing that's going to be extremely important is finding out what format the dental school uses for their interview day. As I mentioned previously, some of us might have a personal interview. Some of us utilize a mini interview or multiple interview format. Some of us videotape our candidates. So make sure that you know about that format. Many of us, many admissions directors, will be very happy to provide you with their interview day schedule and the general format. So prepare for that. A good idea is to do like a mock interview that matches that type of interview that you're going to be going on. And also feel free to bring supplemental materials to the interview. Always check with the school regarding their policy, but I know that some of you can be very artistic, and with origami or maybe some work of art that you've done. Feel free if you have some pictures. We like to see that. I know for sure at Rutgers that's something that we enjoy seeing. Some of you might have been involved with research. Anything that you think is going to separate you from the rest of the candidates, it's okay to bring, as long as you check ahead of time with the particular admissions office. It is likely that the interviewer will ask you questions based on your submitted materials, so review all of these things beforehand. Things like, for example, some of you might have done some mission trips, so be able to talk about that too. Know yourself, explain the unique qualities that make you special. Why would we want you to be an addition to our student body? So we like to see all of those things. Make sure that you're engaging, that you share your interest. Talk to us about your volunteer experiences or other activities. Some of us have a predetermined set of questions that we like to ask every candidate, and some of us employ a more conversational style, and are more spontaneous about questions, so we don't have like a recipe when we're doing the interview. So some of these common questions could be: tell me about yourself. What are your greatest weaknesses? What are your greatest strengths? Why are you interested in dentistry? So be very sincere and passionate. Know why you want to go to dental school. It is important that you really connect with the interviewer, because if you feel, we understand that some of you might be a little nervous, and it is okay to be nervous, and it is okay to say, I'm sorry, can you repeat that question? I'm just a little nervous. This could be your very first interview. So just be very honest and, be yourself. Another good tip is after the interview, make sure that you follow up. It is nice to send a thank you card or an email. Most of us, we're so busy, and snail mail sometimes can be a challenge for the admissions director or the office of admissions to get to the particular actual card. But it is nice to at least send an email. It is nice to send it to the admissions director or dean. And also to the interviewer. Below, I also put some links that are also very beneficial and very helpful. If there is something that you feel that you would like to know more about, and please feel free to contact me or any of these people, any of the participants in this video, because we will be happy to give you some feedback and really help you get to your goal of going to dental school. Good luck.
Greetings. I am Sandra Bolivar, Assistant Dean for Admissions, Diversity, and Student Affairs at the Ostrow School of Dentistry in Los Angeles, California. I will leave you with a few do's and don'ts as you prepare to make your application for dental school. First of all, do some research. Find out about the dental schools that you wish to apply to. We're all different. So you want to be prepared, you want to get organized, you want to make a plan. Start early. Make sure you read and follow application directions and guidelines, and be sure to pay attention to details. Those deadlines are important. The submission requirements are important. Request letters of evaluation in enough time to get them. Go to your advisors, go to the writers, make sure you give them sufficient time to prepare your letters. You don't want them to rush through them, and you want to make sure that they can be prepared and submitted in sufficient time to meet the deadlines. Be sure that you are prepared to discuss the weak aspects of your application. Be truthful, but don't exaggerate. But make sure you are talking about the things that make you a unique applicant. A couple of don'ts. First of all, don't expect schools to waive admissions requirements. Those requirements are there for a reason, so don't expect that schools will waive those. Don't submit a written statement with spelling or grammatical errors in it. Be sure to proofread, and I will say that over and over again. You want to make sure that your written statements are representative of you. Don't take the DAT before you're prepared. And when you write your personal statement, don't be too modest. Tell your story. This is your opportunity to tell us who you are. At the same time, don't lie or exaggerate your accomplishments. And don't be discouraged if you receive honest feedback from advisors or counselors. Avoid the oops moment. That's the moment when you realize you have hit submit and there was something missing or some error. Check your use of social media. Be prudent when you use it. Check your answering machine or your voicemail. What message is on that machine? What message are callers receiving? Often admissions offices will phone you. We want to make sure that there is an appropriate message. Beware of questionable usernames, hotdoc@gmail.com. You want to make sure that it is an appropriate username. And again, I stress, proofread, proofread, proofread. So I hope these hints are useful for a successful application period.